Okay, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Mr. Dan. Today we're going to be making us, for me it's a happy memory when I was in the service. We're going to be making cream beef. I used to love that stuff. No matter which installation I went to, it was the best thing on the breakfast menu. And when I flew around a lot, and the Air Force Base always had that was top notch. But anyway, I want to make this today. I have two versions of it. I'm just going to make one version because my wife said stick to the basic plan. So without further ado, let's get to it. It's pretty easy, pretty filling, and it's cost effective. If you wanted to feed a bunch of people for breakfast, you just get a loaf of bread and have that. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so I'm heating up my pan. I decided I was going to use my cast iron one, but the last time I did that, it took me a while to clean it up. Okay, so anyhow, I have salt and pepper here. This is pepper in here. Not what you think on the container, but it's pepper. Lea & Perrins steak sauce, or Worcestershire sauce, I should say. There's my home ground up top round meat that I ground up. Here I've got some onions, quarter cup of flour. I've got a half a gallon of milk, which I'm not going to use the whole thing, and some red pepper flakes. So let's get to it. Pretty easy. Okay, so my pan is pretty hot right now. So what I'm going to do, put a couple tablespoons here of, probably just one for now, of bacon grease. Slosh that around a little bit. All right. Okay, next we're going to take our ground beef. This is pretty lean too. That's another thing. It wasn't the most fattiest meat I got. Well, that's okay. It was on sale. It didn't cost much. It was cheaper than buying a ground beef. I'll put it that way. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to brown this up. So turn it up a little bit. So give me a couple minutes and we'll be right back. This is so easy. You wonder why you didn't do it before. Okay, so like when your meat's about 90% done browning, put some onion in. These are small diced onion I put in here. I'm not putting it all. I'd say this is maybe a quarter of an onion. This is another thing. In the military, they didn't do this part. They didn't put the onion in there. But over the years, I still like this, so guess what? My wife ain't here. I should do the whole thing, but I'll just tell you as we go along. Okay, we're just trying to get all this here heated up and cooked up. So we will be back momentarily. Okay, so the ground beef is probably about 95% cooked through. So I'm going to hit it with a little salt and pepper here. Not much, just enough to say we did our round of seasoning. And then, now this is going to be maybe a step saver for some people, but just take your flour and just sprinkle a little bit, maybe a tablespoon, if that, of your quarter cup. And then we'll just put this off to the side. What you're going to do is just mix this all in until you don't see no more white powder. I know it's not that white powder. Okay. And the reason I call it a step-saving thing is because a lot of people take their meat and scoop it out of the pan and make the gravy separate. This way, it saves another step, big deal. But you know, this way too, it coats all the meat. Okay, a little bit more. You're not playing fair, buddy. Okay. And you want to let this cook anyway for a couple of minutes just to make sure that there's no real floury taste in the end product. So you just want to make sure that the flour is all the way cooked through. And if you'll notice, see how the ground beef is getting just about where it needs to be to being done. See, there's not much fat in the pan. You don't really need all that ton of fat. Just try. You don't. I'm just saying, but you know. What do I know? I'm just reliving a dream, buddy. Some people might have called it a nightmare. For me, it was okay. Oh, geez, come on. Okay. Mix that in. And then my general rule of thumb is for every tablespoon of flour I put in, this is going to be about 4 of them. This is going to make a decent amount of gravy also. I usually use about a cup of milk per tablespoon of flour. And this way too, mixing it like this, you're almost guaranteed not to get no lumpy gravy. So this is almost there. Be back momentarily. Okay, so now you can see we got most of our ground beef is brown. It's all brown, really. We're going to add a little bit of milk in now. I'm going to add maybe a little more in a cup. That's probably a little hair over. I usually do this in increments of 2 cups at a time. But anyway, you want to mix this together. And it'll thicken up once the milk gets warm. It'll start thickening right up on you. And that's all that fat, all the flour that we put in the meat. And as you can see, the only fat I put in here really was that bit of bacon grease. It's all going to come together, don't worry. There's always a naysayer in the crowd, right? Anyway, like I was saying, I didn't used to use it just over toast. I used to get an omelet. Almost every morning I would get a vegetable and cheese omelet. And instead of putting the creamed beef on the toast, I think that was because of where the toaster was. It was out of range of being right there, right at the skillet or stove top, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, so I decided, just dump it on the egg. So they did, and it tasted good. I had peppers in there, onions, mushrooms, the works, plus cheese. All right, let this cook a little bit, and we'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, the gravy, let me just show you what we got here so far. The more it cooks, the thicker it gets. So I'm going to put a little more milk in here. Mix that around. Now this is all depending on what consistency you like. I don't like it too thick and I don't like it too runny. So I'm like in the middle of the fence, huh? Now, if you wanted to, you got to keep in mind, you want to keep stirring this. You don't want, because if you got it on high, too high, the milk could get scorched on the bottom. So you want to keep this moving. But anyway, I think this is getting to be where I kind of like it. I'm going to put my toast down in a minute. Maybe I'll make me an egg in between. I'm a multitasker, don't worry, I'm used to it. Well, you see how this is coming along? Look at that, huh? Now, same thing, when you refrigerate this, it's going to get back to a thick state again. So you can reheat it in the microwave. Be careful, you can reheat it in a pot. You may even have to add some more liquid to it. I don't know, it's up to you. So right there, I'm going to put some pepper in there. See, this is my black pepper that I grind myself from the peppercorns. The black pepper. I'm going to try those Szechuan peppercorns. They say they give your mouth, around your lips and that, a little tingle. So I'm going to try that one day. Heck, I might try it and don't tell my wife, huh? Oh, little Miss Penny, you got a tingle on your lip, do you? Yeah, I'll get in trouble for sure that way. Now, to me, a really decent gravy like this is when you run your spatula like this and it almost fills in almost immediately behind it. See, there's no waiting in line, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. This is probably where you want to have it. So I probably used about two plus cups of milk. I know that doesn't fall into the scheme of things where I usually do. So now I'm going to put a little Worcestershire sauce in here. Worcestershire. There's probably about a good teaspoon. Stir that around. Round and round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we're gonna let me put my pepper flakes in so you guys can see me actually adding that. And it's just gonna be a little dash or two, not much. See, that's not much. I usually put a handful in there, but for you guys, all right. Now this is actually smelling halfway decent. And see, I usually put bell peppers in this, but I'm trying to stick to almost a 100% recipe. Now today, when I get done with the video, I'll be putting bell peppers in whatever's left because I'm going to use this tonight. You can use this cream beef or SOS, shit on a shingle. Some people say save our souls. It's good for when you want to stretch a meal. You can make this like for breakfast and you'll have maybe half, maybe a little more left. If you have some noodles, some rice, whatever, some French fries, just take this and dump that right on top of whatever you got. All right, let me get a spoon here. Let me get a little taste of this. That cough was nothing more than because that was a little hot, little steam. No real heat. But we let this cook a little bit more. While this is rendering, I'm going to go pop my toast down. Okay, guys, I don't know if you can see over here somewhere. I just made me a quick omelet with my toast on the other side. So now, for the Pierre de Resistance here, put a little, this is how kind of like what I used to eat it. Only I used to have the toast way up on the side because like I had to make the toast separate because the toaster in the military was way on the other end of the chow line. Dumb place to put it. They should have put it in the beginning, I think. I don't know. Okay. So there you have it. So we put a little salt and pepper on here some more. Let me get my little buddy Elmo here. And there you have Mr. Dan's version of SOS. I know, shit on a shingle, or save our souls, or ground beef gravy over toast. We'll meet you at taste test table. Okay, I believe we're ready. I hope you can see me. Camera girl isn't here, like I said. She's still on her little merry vacation with her co-worker, friend. Anyway, Time for the taste test. Now I'm going to try it with the toast first. This is supposed to be what it is. Now this is rye bread I use. I like rye bread. Oh my God. I'm having flashbacks here. And this is, like I said, this is what I used to do in the army, just like this. Egg, green beef, on toast. What more can you ask for? Very simple recipe, very cost effective. If you spread this out, I'd say you can easily feed 6 to 8 people just with the bread, the toast, and the cream beef. And I will also say, the more fat you put in it, the fuller you get with the fat. But who needs all that fat? Right amount of spice in here. What I mean by spice, salt, and pepper. I get a little hint of the red pepper flakes. The omelet I made, even though it was quick, I put onions, mushrooms, and cheese with a little salt and pepper. That's it. And I cooked that on the other stove while the toast was going. Okay, as you can tell, this is really good. So, if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Share with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't, and when you do, little notification bell will pop down. You hit that. That'll notify you each and every time we come up with another video. There's an arrow down right below the video box. You hit that. Drop down box will come down. There you'll get a link to Cook with Mr. Dan Facebook page, a link to my daughter's artwork site page, and a complete list of the ingredients I use to make this wonderful, delicious, delicious dish. So my friends, stay hungry, and when you are, come back and we will give you another delicious dish just like this. This is Mr. Dan saying stay safe, stay out of COVID's way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. We're out for now.